Welcome to History Down the Pub. Now, this week we're doing it a little bit different at the start. I'm obviously going to tell you the story of where we are and what we're going to be doing, but we've got to walk over a field first, which is right over there. So before we get to where we're going, what I want to do as well is just introduce you to a couple of legends. They are busy working, but which makes a change. But here we are. We've got Gary and we've got Darren, Potter. Getting ready, getting busy. So they're the boys. So there's three of us, and what we're going to be doing over the next few weeks, months, hopefully years, depending on if you guys follow us and watch us, we're going to be going over to all hidden places, all hidden gems, little treasures that no one really knows. We're going to be starting off in Suffolk and then hopefully going further afield. Now, what we're going to do is like local legends, history, obviously, and then once we get going, we'll be doing a lot more live videos as well, just explaining what we're doing, a bit more behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, that's the plan. So we're just going to get ready and we're going to walk over the field. The boys are just finalising, but yeah, see you in a minute. So we're now walking across this big ass field. Funny enough, there is no way of actually getting to where we're going, believe it or not. But there is a viewpoint. You can see it if you go all the way over there to where my finger's above Gary's head there. That is a viewpoint, and you can see where we're going. I'm going to tell you where it is. We're in Bures. We're basically telling the story of the Bures dragon, and the legend and how it came about and what happened and all stuff like that. So that's this episode. While we're talking about episodes, don't forget, if you haven't already watched episode 1, make sure you get on it on YouTube. Episode 2 is coming out, well actually, time you've watched this, episode 2 would have already been out, so that would have been next week's. So catch up and then enjoy this one as well. This one will be coming out in a couple of weeks. And yeah, we're at Bures, so we're all walking across that field. Look, the boys, every time I turn the camera on, they walk away. I think they're a bit camera shy, but we'll get them on camera. Right, I've caught up to them. They're running away from me. Look, say hello. That's Darren, Potter. And then we have the man who's normally behind the camera. As you can tell by his face, it's obvious the reason why. Handsome. Yeah, so we're now still walking across this field, but we're almost there, and we're going to get this episode done. And Darren is also the drone man. We're going to get some drone footage, so that should be good. Been exciting, good times. So we are here, finally. Boys are just staking out the place. You can't really see a lot from actually on the ground, but Potty will get the drone up and we'll get some good footage and you'll be able to see it beautifully. Now over there is the viewpoint. So if you ever come to Bures and you want to see the dragon, head over that way, because that is the best place, because you can actually see it. It's across that valley, so it's beautiful. And you don't have to walk across that field, which I'm not actually sure if we're supposed to, but oh yeah. This is episode 3 of History Down the Pub. This is Bures, and this is a Bures dragon. begins with a village. Not a loud one, not a busy one. A quiet place, fields stretching out on the soft greens. The sound of the wind going through the hedgerows and the river moving slowly through the landscape. This is Bures. And if you stand here long enough, you might feel it. That sense of something old lingers here. Not just history, something stranger. Bures is an unusual place. It sits across two counties, Suffolk and Essex, split by the River Stour. Two halves of the village facing each other across the water. Today, it feels peaceful. But go back long enough, back to the 1300s, and the story becomes darker, because this is where the dragon came. No one sees it at first. They hear it. The sound at night. Low, heavy, not quite animal, and not quite anything that they recognise. At first, people dismiss it. It's wind, livestock, something moving in the woods. But then, animals begin to disappear. A sheep here, a goat there. No tracks anyone can explain. No clear signs of what took them. Only unease. Then, one morning, someone finds it, or rather, what's left behind. A patched, scorched ground, grass blackened, soil disturbed, and something, a smell, sharp, bitter, lingering in the air. The kind of smell that makes people step back without knowing why. Word spread quickly through Bures. Something's out there, something not quite natural. The first proper sighting comes at dusk. A figure near the edge of the village looks out towards the fields and freezes. Its body coils and shifts as it moves. Its skin, dark, scaled, unnatural, catches what little light remains. And then it lifts his head, eyes reflecting light that isn't there. And from its mouth, flame. Not smoke, not spark, flame. This is no animal. This is a dragon. You can imagine what happens next. People, they don't stay calm. They don't form committees. They panic. Doors are barred, windows shut, fires kept low at night because no one wants to attract any attention. Livestock is brought closer in. Children are kept indoors, and always there's that fear that at any moment the dragon might return. The story begins to spread beyond Bures. Travellers carry the tale. A dragon in Suffolk, a creature of fire and destruction, and like all stories, it grows. Some say it's as large as a house, and others say its wings blot out the sky. Some even say it speaks. Others insist it just comes from the earth itself. But at the centre of every version, one thing remains the same. It's dangerous, and it's real. Now, every story like this needs someone brave, or possibly reckless. And this story, that someone is a knight. And this isn't always recorded the same way. Some versions call him Richard, others leave him unnamed entirely. But what matters is this. He hears the story and decides to face the dragon, which, if I'm being honest, it's a very bold career choice. The knight doesn't rush in blindly. Well, not entirely. He prepares. Armour polished, sword sharpened, and according to some versions of the legend, he carries something unusual. A mirror? Because there's a belief, an idea that a dragon's strength lies partly in its gaze, that seeing itself might weaken it, or confuse it, or at least give the knight a chance. It's not exactly a foolproof plan, but it is. The meeting happens outside the village. Field stretching wide, no cover, no escape. The dragon appears first, slow, massive, certain. The knight, he stands his ground, which you know what I mean? It's quite impressive because at this point, most sensible people would be running in the opposite direction. But the dragon, he opens his mouth and flame bursts forward. The knight, he raises his shield and slamming against him, the flames force him back and back and back. This isn't a fair fight. And then, at that moment, the knight, he lifts his... For a second, the dragon hesitates. Its own reflection, distorted, flickering, it meets his gaze. Confusion, just enough. And the knight, he moves forward and closing the distance between himself and the dragon. And the dragon can't react. It's not clean. It's not grateful. It's desperate. But it works. And in the end, the dragon falls. The ground shakes as it collapses. The fire dies. The air clears. And for the first time in weeks, months maybe, there is silence. Real silence. The kind that feels like relief. The village changes after that. Life returns, slowly. Fields are worked again. Animals graze without fear. Doors stay open a little bit longer in the evening. But the story doesn't disappear, it stays. Passed down, retold, remembered. Because something happened here. Something people couldn't explain but couldn't forget either. And now, centuries later, the dragon is still part of Bures. Not as a threat, as a symbol. If you visit the village today, you might see references of it, signs, carvings, reminders of the legend. Because it's part of the place now, as much as the river and as much as the fields. So imagine standing there now, in Bures. The wind moves through the trees. The river Stura flows quickly between the two halves of the village. Everything feels calm, ordinary. But then you remember the story, and just for a moment, you wonder. Because, you know, that's the thing about places like this. They hold stories, not written in stone, but carried in memory. Stories of fear, of courage, of things that might not be entirely real, but feel real enough that it matters. And somewhere deep in the imagination of this quiet village, the dragon still breathes. Just a little.
Might not do that.
The boys. Let's get them in. What we're going to be doing over the next few weeks, months, years, going to all different places, find out the history, tell you the history. So if there's any places that you want us to go, please let us know and we'll get on it and we'll get it out there.
Drop a comment.
Drop a comment.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy. Let's get this done. And, you know, the more you watch, the more views, the more we film. The more he talks over me. So let's get this done. And thank you everybody who's joined us already.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.